Is there no power for here?
No. So, yeah. So Incense is gonna use piano as of right now. Yeah. Yeah, you can try it again. Power over here. No. Nope. Power now. Hold on. Back. Is it switching the breaker? Well, we're going. Take the battery. Yes.
This is odd. Yeah. Okay.
Kiyono is here too. The there's two more pots, so I'll take those off.
Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome to today's service. Sorry for the delay, but we'll get started very shortly.
I normally send you the link for the announcement. So
Let me see what I can find.
Cameron, if you need me to just let me know.
Hey, I'm not going to be here through the whole service.
No, it's just during the announcements.
You mean right after Dharma school?
Before the Dharma school goes down.
Okay.
So yeah.
Yeah, I'm fine.
So I sent it to your dorm.
Shelby?
Yeah, that one. And it's just a link. Yeah. So it's
This one?
yeah. So my dad will talk about that.
Okay.
Yeah. So then you can just scroll down. Yeah, Dharma will just put the scan link on it too.
This is all what you want?
Yeah.
And that's it?
Yeah. And then you can just scroll down if that and if anything.
Okay, I'll just leave it on
Yeah.
the picture there?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, we're on Officiant's channel. So
welcome to this morning's service. You ever wake up in the morning and you just think you're going to have a wonderful day, and then, oops, something happened, and, and then things just kind of snowball, and one thing goes bad after one thing, one after another, one after another. Well, that's how our day's starting today. So apologies for the delays and everything. We thought we were doing fine when we got here early, but oh well, things happen. But welcome to this morning's service, and I think we're about ready. Let me just double check. Well, good morning again, and welcome to today's service. Today is our GOTAN-E service. We're commemorating the birth of our founder, Shinran Shonin. And thank you to the calling bell, which calls us to this morning's service. For those of you who do not know me, my name is Ralph Honda, and I will chair today's service for you. We will begin with a fruit and floral offering by the 9th through 12th grade class. Thank you to Aya, Juliana, and Tabo for the offering. You know, every month we celebrate birthdays, and I know last Sunday we had observed birthdays for the month of May. But you know, we didn't celebrate Shinran's birthday. Shinran was born on May 21st. So this is the month that we commemorate his birthday. As you know, Shinran is the founder of our Jodo Shinshu tradition, Jodo Shinshu Buddhist tradition. So at this time, I think it would be appropriate that we celebrate Shinran's birthday by singing Happy Birthday. And Miss Ann will lead us with the piano playing, okay? At the count of 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Shinran. Happy birthday to you. Thank you. May 21st is Shinran's birth date. So remember that, okay? Future. Okay, today's service is being officiated by our Reverend Smitty and assisted by Reverend Noriko. Reverend Sterling is under the weather. He's sick today, so he was not able to make it to today's service. So we will continue with our service this morning with the chanting of the Sutra, Sanbujo, and that can be found on page 21 of the service book. I'm sorry. We'll start with Sanbujo. Sanbujo, and then Hyobyakumon, which is the intention of the service. And then that will lead into the chanting of Sanbujo. Oh, I'm sorry, Shoshinge. Shoshinge.
Please join me in Gassho. Today, we gather to observe GOTAN-E, the birth of Shinran Shonin, the founder of Jodo Shinshu Buddhism, or the True Pure Land School. Having entered this world of samsara on May 21st, 1173, Shinran Shonin spent his simple and modest life of 90 years expressing no desire to make himself prominent and impressive among the people. He didn't seek to start a new school of Buddhism or even have disciples. Yet more than 850 years after his birth, along with all the other Nembutsu followers, we are rejoicing over Shinran's teachings of Amida Buddha's wisdom and compassion and the incomparable vow which liberates us all. We express our sincere appreciation for having encountered the Dharma through our teachers, their teachers, and that lineage traced back to Shinran Shonin. May we reaffirm our intent to live the Nembutsu path each day as we recite the Buddha's name. Namo Amida Butsu, Namandab, 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 Namandab.
We will now have the chanting of Shoshinge on page 58.
shi unmu jo fu shinjitsu shinjin ten inyo ni kohu unmu shige myomu an gyakushin kenkyo daikyo ki soku o chozetsu go akushu isai zen makubon bunin mon shinyo rai gusegan butsugon kodai shogesha zenin myo hundari ke mira butsu hon gannen but jaken kyo manakushu jo shin yo juji jinni nan nan chu shi nan mukashi indo sai ten shiron ge chuka jichi ikishi koso kendai shoko se shoi myonyo rai honze oki shaka nyorai rogasen ishu go myo nan tenjik ruju dai jishu to se shizu no zai ha umuken senzetsu dai jomu joho shokan giji shoan rak kenji nan gyoroku roku shinyo igyo shidorak okunen mida butsu hongan jinen sokuji nyu hitsujo yui no josho no raigo ho dai higuzeon tenjin bosatsu zoron set kimyo muge konyorai eshu tara kenshinjis kosen ocho dai segan Ieko idogun josho ishin kinyu kudoku dai Hōkai hitsugaku nyu dai shushu tokushiren gezo sekai sokusho shinyo hoshojin yubon no ringen jinzu nyu shoji on 殺来三蔵るし十条教本上専業気楽法天神菩薩論中下報道因果見世願おげんねこゆたりく少女支援有意新人惑千本部新人ポーツ承知承持即涅槃意志無漏光明道小宇宙開復系同社結晶道南小唯名道道活入万全自力変言集円満徳語感染症三不三神経音言増末法滅道因一生増悪地偶税四半病外小病化全道独名部所意公愛上三よ逆は公明明語権二年開入本願大地会行者小樹今後心表記一年相互よい大と白三人即小法小子上楽原神公開一大教返帰安女管理祭先祖出身反戦人法家二道小弁悪人有所仏火薬剤非摂取中煩悩証言追復権大無権上昇が本資源空明仏教連民全幕本部人新宗教書公編集戦弱本願具惑星現来生じ輪年下決議上位小子即入学上無 shikudoku yodo sei sai doho tsubo dai shin ojo anrako. Gasho namanda 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 namanda.
Thank you. You know, I forgot to mention that this morning's service, we're also commemorating the kickoff of our temple's 100th anniversary today. The temple was officially founded on May 19th of 1926. So, of course, this is our 100-year anniversary, and the founding of our temple is just 2 days away. And then, of course, this will lead into our commemoration or celebration of the weekend of September 19th and 20th. Okay, we will continue with the service with incense offering by representatives. So when I call your organization, will someone from that organization please come up to offer incense. Beginning with the Dharma School staff. Dharma School students. Sangha teens. Junior YBA. The Adult Buddhist Association. Buddhist Women's Association. Taiko. Komon. It's a past president's group. Buddhist temple. Okay, thank you. And now we'll have a message for the Dharma school students and for the Sangha as well. And it will be, today's message will be given by Mr. Norman.
Good morning, everyone. This year is our temple's 100th anniversary, as Ralph Honda expressed, and I was asked to do a Dharma talk about the temple's time capsule. What is a time capsule? A simple definition of a time capsule is it's a container where items are placed in them and buried to be opened in the future for future generations to see and think about. They can be a very big or very small time capsule, and some are expected to be buried for a few years, and others are to be opened thousands of years from now. Take a look at the big one in Osaka, Japan, next to the Osaka Castle. It was buried during the 1970 World Expo with over 2,300 items placed in it and set to be opened every 100 years, with the final opening expected to be in 5,000 years. That's a long time. You can see Roy Okuhara, one of our temple members, pointing it out. Roy and Karen were on a trip right now, and they sent this photo since we haven't found our temple's time capsule yet. So they heard about it, and they sent the picture to me last week. Now, why are time capsules important, and why do we have them? You ask different people from different areas, and you might find different answers. But one thing that is common in most time capsules are that the people wanted to bury and show something from the past to the future generations. Let's look at the time capsule from our Buddhist temple of San Diego's past. When the temple building officially opened back in 1930, the members placed the time capsule in the cornerstone of this building, which is right over on that northeast corner and down below. Our temple members waited until 1976 when they had the 50th temple anniversary. And as the black and white photo shows, they pulled out a cigar box size, which is about this big. You might be able to see the second gentleman from the left holding a box. Inside it was a large sheet with all the members' signatures on it. Many of our membership have family connections to those original members. Unfortunately, we're not sure if a replacement time capsule was installed back in 1976, so at this time we're still searching. And we want to thank Michael Kinoshita and Ken Muraoka for making those big holes there. So, since we haven't found our temple time capsule yet, as Buddhists, let's start by imagining what Prince Siddhartha, who later became Shakyamuni Buddha, might have placed in his imaginary time capsule. But first, let's start by telling the basic story of Prince Siddhartha. Prince Siddhartha was born into a wealthy kingdom, a life of luxury, wealth, and all the comforts of life a prince could have. But eventually, after seeing all the people who lived outside the palace suffering, he was so dismayed and sad that he eventually gave up his princely life and all his material comforts and wealth. He decided to live a life of an ascetic or a monk or a disciple to find out what the meaning of suffering is. So at this point in Siddhartha's life, what items would he have placed in his imaginary time capsule if he had one? Any suggestions? Any thoughts? Well, since he gave up his princehood, maybe one of the items he would have placed is a crown. Or how about his treasures, his wealth? Oops. Sorry about this. Oh, what happened here? I have a little technical difficulty here. How about a picture of Siddhartha's castle that he left? And if he had cameras back there, maybe he had a picture of his farewell party with other disciples that are going. Maybe you can recognize Ralph Honda. Did you know he lived way back then? Anything else? Since he was a disciple and he had nothing other than his what's on his back, maybe he had a monk's bowl to ask for food from some kindly strangers to provide him. And since he had nothing else, maybe Siddhartha's old clothes he might have placed in them. Now to continue with the story of Siddhartha, after almost starving, was fed by a kind maiden. And then he realized the need to change his search about life and suffering. So he sat and meditated many days under the Bodhi tree, struggling with many human feelings we all may have experienced, such as anger, fear, frustration, greed, and other anxieties. And he became enlightened as Shakyamuni Buddha. So, if now enlightened, what would Shakyamuni Buddha have left us in his imaginary time capsule? Would it be different from Siddhartha's time capsule? I think so. It probably would have been different because his life completely changed. Now as a Buddha, with a Buddha mind filled with infinite compassion and eternal wisdom, don't you think he would have wanted to share what he learned with all the suffering people, or at least with his friends? Now, since Shakyamuni Buddha has so much eternal Dharma's wisdom and guidance to share with others, he shared it as a story of Amida Buddha. The story of Amida Buddha is full of endless parables or stories that the children might hear about how to find the eternal compassion and wisdom about life. Amida Buddha is like getting a big, heartfelt hug. Who wouldn't want a hug here? Would everybody like a hug? I think so. From a soft-spoken friend who never leaves you. Amida Buddha is a non-judgmental friend who will always help you find a path to calmness and gratitude when you have sadness, anger, and frustrations, which we all, I'm sure, have. And he would have the final comforting promise that you will all be helped to become a Buddha yourselves, every one of you. So if you put your hands into a Buddha's eternal time capsule, what kind of help would you find? Well, if there was an eternal time capsule, let's look at Charlie Brown. If he put his hand into this Buddha's time capsule, what do you think he would have found? If you can see the screen, he found the question, how do I find less suffering? And he realized that I will start by being grateful for being me with all my charming faults. So I asked a few students here if they would like to come up and see what's in the Buddha's time capsule, what kind of help and Dharma that they would have. So you want to come up here? Cassia, could you come up? We're kind of limited on time, so we can only ask a few students. Oh, there's a mic right here. We're going to have the kids read what kind of a Dharma message they found in the time capsule.
I will be kind and gentle to every living thing. It's a Snickers bar.
Oh, you're supposed to look at that afterwards. What do you think that means?
I will be kind to and gentle to living things.
Very good. Okay, next.
To study the Buddha was to study the self for guidance.
What do you think that means? Any thoughts? You could repeat it if you want. See which one that was.
To study the Buddha way is to study the self.
That's probably telling you to look inside yourself and you'll find a lot of answers. Very good. Next.
May all beings be happy and well. May no harm or difficulty come to them. May they live in peace and harmony.
Very nice. Any thought? Any suggestions?
That everybody should live a good life, and no one should no bad thing should happen to anybody.
Okay, you want to bless others as well as yourself. Very nice. Okay, Cassia.
Buddha nature, we are all rough diamonds, just need to polish it.
Ooh, that's a big concept. What do you think that means? Well, Buddha nature is in every one of us, and we all have the potential to become Buddha. We just need to look within ourselves and polish that diamond that's in us, and it becomes brighter and brighter so that we can share that wisdom that you have with others, just like Shakyamuni Buddha is sharing in this time capsule all his knowledge. Thanks, kids. Sounds good. You can take that. That's yours. Yeah.
Do I have to eat the 100-year-old Snickers bar?
You can give it to someone else. That's called dana. And then the other kids, when they come up and do their final shoko before their craft, they can pick from the time capsule as well. Okay? Oh, come on out here so that Junko Sensei could take a picture of you.
I love 100-year-old Snicker bars.
No, they're a little fresher than that. Thanks. Thanks, students. So, even though we haven't found the temple's time capsule yet, it's okay, because just like Shakyamuni Buddha and just like Shinran Shonin, whose birthday we celebrate today in our GOTAN-E service, we realize that the story of Amida Buddha, which it can also be called Buddha Dharma or Dharmakaya, is our temple's eternal time capsule. It is a story told for over 2,500 years, still less than the 5,000 from the Osaka time capsule, but going strong through many Buddhist masters, disciples, and followers. And now our new Reverend Davenport, who started this year, and the big ministerial staff we have, as well as the Dharma school teachers and the Sangha. It is a story full of life's dharmas we can use to lessen our sufferings and increase our gratitude for life and pass on to our present and future Sangha. And in closing, If everyone could put their hands together to say the Nembutsu with me in gratitude for the past 100 years and for the future 100 years of our Buddhist Temple of San Diego. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Norman, for that very informative Dharma message to students and to Sangha about our 100-year anniversary and that missing time capsule. But I'm sure all of us are very, have a lot of memories of the temple that we can share with our friends and Sangha members and children, grandchildren that will continue with the history of the temple. So I believe everyone here is part of that time capsule. Okay, will everyone please rise for the Gatha Shinran Sama, and that can be found on page 141 of the service book.
Sama wa yuri so
Thank you. Please remain standing for the recitation of gratitude for the Jodo Shinshu teaching found in the insert on the back of the service book. Namo Amida Butsu. Entrust yourself to me. I will liberate you just as you are. This is the calling and the voice of Amida. My blind passions are interested in the Buddha's awakening. So the Buddha calls me to me. I will liberate you as you are. Gratefully responding to the Buddha's call, I find that I am already on the path that leads to the Pure Land, and the Nembutsu flows freely from my thankful heart. Living with the Dharma as my guide softens my rigid heart and mind. Gratitude for the gift of life I have received frees me from becoming lost in greed and anger, and allows me to share a warm smile and speak gentle words. Sharing in the joy and sadness of others, I shall strive to live each day to its fullest. Gassho, Namo Amida Butsu. 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 Thank you. You may be seated. At this time, we'll have words of appreciation from our temple president, Kurt.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us this morning, and thank you for coming out. I have to thank the group today because we all had to pivot on different things. Reverend Smitty, thank you for officiating today's service. We really appreciate it. We also appreciate the crew here. We had no electricity in this corner, so thank you, Ann Ong, Ricky, and Brevin for helping out, and Ralph for hosting. But Norman, thank you for putting together today's Dharma message. That is amazing, what you did with the bucket. So the Dharma School really appreciates your time and your efforts that you put in, and thank you for the Dharma talk this morning. Thank you for the assistance of the MA group to help with the ceremony. But most of all, thank you everyone for coming in Sundays and joining us at service.
Thank you, Kurt. Are there any announcements at this time?
Good morning. Happy birthday, Shinran Shonin, and happy birthday, Buddhist Temple San Diego. So I'm Wendy, and today with Dharma School, we're going to be doing a uchiwa, Japanese flat fan, good for obon dancing. And so after you're dismissed and do oshoko, please come down to rooms 6 and 7.
This is to remind everybody that the Temple's Bazaar will be June 7th, and we are looking for volunteers. So there is a sign-up sheet downstairs in the hallway, so please, if you have time, sign up. Thank you.
Hi, Bill here for Buddhist Education Committee. First off, we wanted to welcome our guests today. We would like to start asking students from Professor Craig Forney's classes at Palomar College to stand up and be acknowledged. Go ahead and if you could just say your name really briefly, that'd be great. Thank you. And? Thank you, everybody. Thanks for coming. Do we have any other visitors today? You may be here and you may be shy, which is okay too. But anyway, thank you very much for coming. The other announcement is just end of the month, Saturday, last Saturday, Shukatsu seminar on end-of-life planning. If you were unable to attend the very first kickoff seminar we did 2 years ago, this is a great one to come to. Or if your planning has fallen by the wayside, we encourage you to come as well. The speakers are very inspiring, and it will be Saturday, May 30th, starting from 3, and it goes about 90 minutes. Thank you very much.
Okay, this is in relation to our 100th anniversary. I am putting the word out there that we are going to have an Ochigo parade, and we're going to need participants. Okay, and this is for the younger kids of Dharma school. Okay, I have a form up here, but I have to make copies. So if you're able, and if you're a young student, probably pre-K to maybe the 4th grade, come see me, and I'll give you one of these forms. Now, for the grandparents, if you think your grandchild is young enough to participate too, come and see me, and I'll give you a form too, and they can participate. And this will be on September 20th, be somewhere in the time of the service, before the service of that day. Okay, thank you.
Good morning. 2 announcements. First is you may have heard, or anyway, we're having a rental family. It's a movie, Rental Family, starring Brendan Fraser, and it's a wonderful movie, heartwarming, and all kinds of good stuff. Anyway, this is a free movie, and BWA sponsoring it, so we're having a fundraiser. It's a $5 mini teriyaki meatball or tofu bowl, mini. So it's $5, and if it's not enough, buy 2. Okay, and then, but if you would sign up downstairs in the office, and just put down, which like 2 meatball and 1 tofu or whatever. Okay, and then the other, and that is on May 31st, last Sunday of the month, after service at noon. And the other announcement is Reverend Sterling has volunteered to do a sourdough bread baking class, and that will be on Saturday, June 14th, I believe. Anyway, and if you would sign up for it, and I'll give you more details later, but anyway, sign up downstairs in the office also. Thank you.
So the Southern District Conference is coming up, and if you went last year and had a good time, it's going to be, I think, the 15th? 13th of June. Ralph is organizing the group to go, and I encourage you to go again. We had 11 people go last year, which is pretty good, coming from San Diego. We'll be going to Shoshinge, so let people know that how good a time you had last time, and hopefully we get more people. The other announcement is more for the Dharma schools. I'm the LABCC representative, and that's coming up, so make sure you guys sign up. And there's also a BYR that's retreat that's coming up for the youth. And I'm also on the scholarship, and we're going to start kicking that off and getting a theme out there for you guys. So all you younger youths, a lot of activities for you. So make sure your parents get going on that stuff, because it's coming up quickly. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Sorry, and thank you for hanging in there. Long service, but it's a good service. I want to thank, on behalf of the 100-year anniversary committee, thank you, Norman, for kicking it off, and everyone else for coming today. Also, who likes cake? Everyone likes cake, most people. Okay, we're having cake after the service, okay? Thank you to Greg Yanakura. He donated 2 cakes, one for the 100-year anniversary kickoff and one for Shinran Shonin's birthday. So please come and have it at the hospitality room after. Thank you.
I have a few announcements for you. Next weekend, of course, is Memorial Weekend, so there are a lot of activities going on Saturday through Monday of next weekend, including on Saturday will be our annual visit to the Imperial Valley for the cemetery services, and if anybody would like to join Reverend Davenport, Kurt, and I, you're welcome to do so. We'll be heading out there early Saturday morning to the cemeteries at Calexico, El Centro, and Brawley. Then on Sunday will be our family service starting at 10, and later in the day, Reverend Smitty will be conducting a Memorial Day service at Fort Rosecrans National Cemetery in Point Loma. Then on Monday will be the Community Memorial Day service at Mount Hope Cemetery, starting at 9:30. This year, the Pioneer Ocean View United Church of Christ is hosting it, and then it will also include the Buddhist service. And then at 11:30 will be our temple's service at the Cypress View Mortuary. So that's next weekend. The also for the 100th anniversary, we'll be offering the Kiyoshiki affirmation of receiving your Buddhist name. If you're interested, there are application packets downstairs in the office. So please take one if you're interested, and there's a sign-up sheet as well. The registration fee is $50 per person, and it will be officiated by Bishop Reverend Marvin Harada, and this will be at the 100th anniversary service in September. It's nice to have your Buddhist name, your Homyo, your Dharma name. So encourage all of you, if you do not have one, to please consider receiving your Dharma name. Also, Obon season is coming up. Our Obon will be August 1st. And many of the temples will be having their Obons this summer. And the temple is chartering a bus to attend the Las Vegas Obon the weekend of August 15th through the 17th. So if you're interested, there's a sign-up sheet downstairs in the office, and you can sign up for that. And finally, this is kind of important, real important. We've been having, thanks to our temple member, Jason Schmidt, we've been having, he's been offering a series of to watch out for scams. And unfortunately, Reverend Peter Hata of the Higashi Honganji Betsuin in Los Angeles and his wife, Diane, were victims of a recent scam. It was an FBI scam, and they lost their life savings, their home and other possessions. A GoFundMe page has been created for them, and you can see on there that there's a goal that they're trying to reach of up to a little bit over $550,000. So if you're interested in helping Reverend Hata and his wife with their recovery efforts, you're welcome to do so. But it just shows that we're all vulnerable to these scams that are out there. So please be very careful. And I'm sure when we have more opportunities to share how to protect yourselves from these type of criminals, and we have these workshops, please sign up for them. They're very informative. But Reverend Hata was one of our guest speakers for a service, I want to say probably about 10 years ago for a major service here. But thank you for your consideration. Okay, this concludes our first half of the service. Thank you for your patience and for everyone's participation. Now the Dharma School is excused to their activities, so please come up for Oshoko and and then pick up your Dana gift as well.
Hi, just wanted to make a correction on the sourdough bread baking class. It is on Sunday, which is June 14th at 1 o'clock after service. Thanks.
Okay, we will now continue with the second half of the portion of the service. And we will begin with the chanting of the Vandana Tisarana on page 96.
Please. Is my mic on? Yes. Okay. Please chant all parts of the Vandana and Tisarana with me. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sama sambuddhassa. Homage to him, the exalted one, the enlightened one, the supremely awakened one. Gassho, Namanda, 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 Namanda.
Now, Reverend Smitty will share her Dharma message.
Okay, and as if this service couldn't be any longer, I think I'm going to talk for about 40 minutes today. But there's no slideshow or anything to share with you, unfortunately, so you're just going to have to listen or sleep, whichever is easier to do. But before I get started, I would like to express my appreciation to, as many of you know, that this was sort of a last-minute thing where we had some pinch hitting going on today, to use a Padres metaphor. Thanks to Bill for helping me to get the Onaijin set up with the altar cloths and the offerings and everything for this major service this morning. Usually we do that a day ahead of time, but he was very kind to help me with that. Thanks to Katie for leading the pre-service chanting while Bill helped me out. Thanks to Ralph for getting the programs printed, as I was causing printer errors and running around like a chicken with my head cut off. And everybody who's showed up to be here today, thank you for that as well. So please join me in Gassho. In gratitude to Amida, the Buddha's words, I dedicate my whole being to realizing the Buddha's intent. In gratitude to the masters of teachings and to the countless good Dharma friends among our ancestors, I dedicate my total efforts to spreading the Nembutsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namanda, 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 Namanda. So the words I just shared with you are Reverend Bishop Kenru Tsuji's translation of Shinran's Ondoksan, which can be found in his Hymns of the Dharma Ages. And perhaps it's more correct to say that it's really Reverend Tsuji's interpretation of Master Shinran's words rather than a direct translation of them. You know, many of us are more likely to be familiar with the original Japanese because we sing those words as a Gatha during most services. In fact, with the help of Ann Ong on the organ, we'll be singing Shinran's original words following this Dharma talk. So for comparison, I'd like to share the words as they're written in the collective works of Shinran and how it translates on Doksan. Such is the benevolence of Amida's great compassion that we must strive to return it, even to the breaking of our bodies. Such is the benevolence of the masters and true teachers that we must endeavor to repay it, even to our bones becoming dust. Namanda, Namanda, Namanda. But whichever translation you might like best, and there are several available, the essence of these words is that we owe a huge debt of gratitude to Amida and to our Dharma teachers. And of course, Shinran didn't really count himself among our Dharma teachers when he wrote those lines. In section 6 of Tanisho, Shinran reportedly went so far as to say that he didn't have any disciples. Yuyenbo tells us that Shinran stated, "For myself, I do not have even a single disciple, for if I brought people to say the Nembutsu through my own efforts, then they might be my disciples. But it is indeed preposterous to call persons my disciples when they say the Nembutsu, having received the working of Amida. Namanda, namanda, namanda. So, Shinran saw himself as a fellow traveler along the path set forth by his teacher, Honin Shonin, and those teachers who came before Honin. But we're here today to commemorate Shinran Shonin's birth, not because we see him as just another traveler along the Nembutsu path. We celebrate Shinran's birth because he and all the other Jodo Shinshu teachers who came after him have guided us to the Nembutsu path. It's said that at a very young age, Shinran demonstrated that he himself would become a true teacher of the Dharma. And one of the many legends about Shinran's life comes from some time around his 9th birthday, when he was sometimes known as Matsuwaka-maru and sometimes called Tadayasu. Now, I had a temple member ask me this morning about all the different names that he had, and I won't go over all those today because that will extend the Dharma talk quite a bit. But at this point, he had been adopted by his uncle, Lord Hino Noritsuna, in accordance with his mother's dying wishes. His mom died about when he was 8 years old. And it's said that his mother also asked that young Matsuwaka-maru be permitted to become a monk, and Lord Noritsuna complied with her request. So Shinran's uncle took him to the monk Jien, who was in charge of a temple on Mount Hiei. And when Jien asked why the two were visiting, Lord Noritsuna replied that they desired to have young Matsuwaka-maru initiated into Buddhist monkhood. And it was very unusual for such a young person to become a monk directly. Normally a boy of about 9 years old or so would spend a few years studying the Dharma as a layperson, and only after passing an evaluation by senior monks would he then be initiated into the monkhood. But Jien was well aware that Shinran's mother had passed away and his father was living in seclusion, having given up the 5 boys to adoptive parents. And perhaps the life of a monk would be suitable for such a young boy who had a tough life so far. Yet because these visitors arrived after dark and the hour was late, Jien proposed that the two return in the morning for tonsure ceremony and induction into monkhood. And it was then that Matsuwaku-maru, or young Shinran, was said to grasp the situation with wisdom beyond his 9 years, and he supposedly composed and spoke a poem on the spot. He said, "Cherry blossoms that are thought to last till the morrow may well blow away during the night." These words had a very deep meaning. Matsuwaku-maru was saying to the monk Jien, although you may believe that cherry blossoms will last until tomorrow, a windstorm may blow during the night. Or rather, that the season for the wind and rain is also when the blossoms are at their peak. So similarly, life is very fleeting. And as young as I am, can anyone guarantee that I will still be alive tomorrow morning? Isn't the transiency of life what the Buddha and you, O honored monk, teach us? That is why I would like to enter the monkhood as soon as possible. And it was said that Jien was very impressed by the young boy, and that night the youngster, who we would come to know as Shinran, went through the initiation ceremony, and his head was ritually shaved, and Matsuwaku-maru was given the Dharma name Hanan, having formerly become a monk at the age of 9. And shortly afterwards, the young monk Hanan was then taken to the Daijo temple by Jien. And of course, as an aside, Ralph, thank you for bringing the statue of Shinran up here for us to have in the Hondo this morning. And it brings back memories to me of my own Tokudo ordination, where we enter the hall and it's dark to simulate the story I just told you about when the visitors came in at night. It's lit only by a few candles that are aglow at that time. And there's a very large statue of Shinran up on high. And in that darkness, I just felt that Shinran was staring down at me, asking me, what the heck are you doing here? So it is very moving to me to have the statue of Shinran be here today as we celebrate Shinran's birthday and the founding of our temple. So back to the story. Master Shinran spent the next 20 years of his life on Mount Hiei, reading many sutras, conducting rituals, and learning the way of a Tendai Buddhist monk. And Shinran eventually learned about Amida Buddha and often spent day after day walking around a statue of Amida while reciting the Nembutsu. And he thought that because of his sincere and exhausting efforts, the Buddha would respond by liberating him from his suffering. And unfortunately, this simply didn't happen. And frustrated that he wasn't making any progress on his path to Buddhahood through the Tendai practices, Shinran left Mount Hiei when he was 29 years old and sought out a teacher known as Honen Shonin. I don't know about you, but I think 20 years is a really long time to study and practice Buddhism in the hopes of becoming enlightened through our own hard work and efforts. And it seems Shinran was frustrated about this too, since he felt that he was no closer to awakening than when he was a 9-year-old novice monk. But as a student of Honen, Shinran learned that it wasn't through his own practices that he would be freed from suffering and difficulties. Honen taught Shinran that it wasn't his efforts of saying the Nembutsu that would lead to awakening in Amida's Pure Land, as perhaps he had believed in the days when he circled the statue of Amida on Mount Hiei, saying Namo Amida Butsu over and over again. The Nembutsu is Amida's compassionate call to us, and our voicing of the Nembutsu is a response in gratitude to Amida's vow or promise to liberate us just as we are. And so this was really a major aha moment for Shinran. So thanks to his teacher Honen, Shinran devoted the rest of his life to sharing and explaining the Nembutsu path to all who were willing to hear the teachings. And we're here today, 850 years after Shinran's birth, to express our gratitude to the young Matsuwaku Maru, who showed remarkable wisdom and resilience as a boy, grew up to be known as Master Shinran, and shared with all of us his teachings of the Pure Land Path. So this takes us back to the lines from Ondoksan, in which Shinran says he owes everything to Amida and the true teachers he encountered, and would work until his bones became dust to repay all that he received. And it seems particularly poignant to me that while celebrating the birth of Shinran today, we're also acknowledging the time capsule that we haven't quite found yet, but also the 100th anniversary of this temple. And Shinran Shonin is certainly a true teacher to all of us, but so are the ministers and the Sangha members who built and nurtured and guided this temple from its founding days through today. And because we benefit so greatly for having encountered the wisdom and compassion that embraces us always, and we're only aware of this immeasurable light and infinite life because of our teachers, we respond out of gratitude by endeavoring to pay it forward, because we're incapable of ever truly paying back such a great debt. This is why we're here today holding this GOTAN-E service. We're expressing our gratitude to Shinran Shonin for sharing the teachings with us, for passing them down through generation after generation over a period of 8 centuries. And we're expressing our gratitude to the teachers and the Sangha members who established this temple, so that we too would be able to encounter wisdom and compassion that we know as Amida Buddha. And throughout this centennial year, we're coming and committing ourselves to pay forward all that we've received to future generations of Sangha members for the next 100 years and more, so that they might too encounter true teachers true wisdom, and true compassion. So today at this GOTAN-E service, we express our gratitude to Shinran Shonin, and we express our gratitude to Amida Buddha, and we express our gratitude to our spiritual ancestors, the founders, the Sangha members, the ministers, and true teachers of the Buddhist temple of San Diego. So please join me again in Gassho. In gratitude to Amida, the Buddha's words, I dedicate my whole being to realizing the Buddha's intent. In gratitude to the masters of teachings and the countless good Dharma friends among our ancestors, I dedicate my total efforts to spreading the Nembutsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namandab, 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 namandab.
Thank you, Reverend Smitty, for your compelling message on Shinran and how it all blends in with our life and our commemoration for our 100th anniversary. You know, if you ever visit Kyoto and you go to the area of Mount Hiei, just east of Kyoto, there's an area there where it has all the different schools of Buddhism. And it gives a little history of all the different schools. And in there, on there, there's a display of Shinran and how Jodo Shinshu began. And it starts off when he was a young person, 9 years old, in their traditions of him going through the schools as a Tendai monk, and you know, and then eventually starting his, you know, his school of Jodo Shinshu tradition. So if you're ever visit Japan and you go to Kyoto and you have a chance to visit that area of Mount Hiei, please be sure to visit that area. It's really intriguing. Okay, will everyone please stand for the Gatha Ondoku-san on page 128. Namandaps, namandap, namandaps, namandaps. Thank you. You may be seated. Now we will now have a closing meditation. Be kind, heart of mind, and remember, Namo Amida Butsu. 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 Well, this concludes our GOTAN-E service for 2026 and the kickoff celebration of our 100th anniversary. Thank you to everyone for attending this morning and everyone involved with putting today's service together. Please join us for hospitality downstairs in the dining room, and be sure to enjoy the cake that will be served. You're welcome to Oshoko, burn incense as you leave the Hondo. So thank you very much for attending and have a wonderful day.
with most mad fragrances. Probably.
So if they did,
What?
so if they did, if they did not replace it, but put something in there for the 50th anniversary, where is it? That's the mystery.
It was almost a solo with a.
So it wasn't a breaker or anything.
Most beautiful bird here ever.
I hope that makes it. Someone reads that in 100 years.
Reverend Oyama used to play it on so that was always very special to get to hear him. Yeah.